Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Ninja Knight. Make sure you like the video, make sure you share the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Thank you. So 15 hours ago, Yakface, who was a great source for new and upcoming figures that are coming from Star Wars, posted this. And he said, as a result of this is a custom, but a Target exclusive version is still coming. So he edited this after the fact, but beforehand had posted this image and said, as I hinted back on September 22nd, here's a first unofficial look at the Target exclusive 6-inch, the Black Series Remnant Stormtrooper from The Mandalorian. Now, obviously says then, amends that there as this is a custom, but a Target exclusive version is still coming. It's absolutely incredible to think that Star Wars The Mandalorian would have Remnant Troopers and they would give that exclusivity to Target, a company that has absolutely botched some recent exclusives like the likes of the NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and recently the G.I. Joe line. It's an absolute farce, and I think as a toy collector, I don't know whether Hasbro are trying to drive collectors away, because that's actively what they're doing now in my opinion. But there was one comment in this post here that really made me think about the sort of things that are going on with Star Wars at the moment and how things might be going wrong, and possibly I think that this could be the property if Disney are going to sell it off. It's possibly going to be Star Wars if they start to think about it. So we have Camino Creations says, Mother of God, what's with all these repaints lately? We get Cad Bane and he's paid for using 15 repaints apparently. FFS. And Yakface says, Hasbro's budget for Star Wars is less this year and next. Lots of repaints coming. Now what does that say to you? Well, what that says is that this is a guy in the know, from what we've seen in the past, a very reputable source. So if they're saying that Hasbro's budget is less, what is that saying? Well, that's saying actually that the product that they've delivered over the last number of years hasn't sold well. But shockingly, an awful lot of people out there told us it did. But clearly it didn't if the budget has shrunk. Now what else alludes to this? Well, I've talked about my surprise at HasLab being the avenue for the Star Wars Razor Crest. That's a popular show, The Mandalorian. Why are you going to crowdfunding for an item like that? Why are you not putting that onto shelves? I thought that was a strange move. But seeing this now, this type of comment from Yakface, who again is a very credible and reputable source, starts to make me think there's big problems with this brand. And we've seen cheap materials being used with the Stormtroopers recently, particularly with their helmets being mushy and squashy like marshmallows. We've also seen the same with the Camino Clone Troopers, that the helmets are squishy and squashy. We're seeing a reuse of Darth Vader. We have a Darth Vader that's in the Black Series 9 now with these new boxes and immediately has been reused in the 40th anniversary line. The same with Luke Skywalker, the same with the Endor set, the same with the Clone Troopers. So I think there's a bit of a correlation going on here, that we are seeing an awful lot of repaints. We're seeing the gaming greats, majority repaints, hardly any new sculpt, and if there is, it's very minimal. So this seems to me like Star Wars is in a bit of bother, and if Hasbro's budget is after being given less this year, that means they have less to work with, which ultimately means that they're trying to maximise their profits with doing less. So more troopers, more things that are easy to repaint, the likes of the Jedi. You can just switch out a head there maybe and put a new head on, it's an all new character, or very little in terms of new molds. So that says to me now that overall the brand isn't in a healthy position. But wait, Ninja Knight, they've just crowdfunded the HasLab Razor Crest. Of course that's wrong. Well, if they were that confident about a show that's after gone pretty much global and everybody loves it, and in terms of that, they've re-released The Mandalorian itself with Beskar armor. They're talking about re-releasing it again with a deluxe set. They're re-releasing the Credit Collection with multiple different colours. Of course, it's a popular character, but again, you're seeing the trend of repaint. So that would say to me then, instead of doing new things and updating things, look at the Marvel line, for example. They're given new things. They're after being given the pinless technology. We're seeing now that Power Rangers is going to have a new scale with villains in it as well too. Granted, they use the same book on an awful lot of stuff. But this is saying to me now that the last couple of movies that haven't sold well, that you've seen in discount stores, that we've seen Jeff from World Class BSers has already done videos on. It's starting to catch up now, I think. And even myself, seeing stuff from the recent couple of movies idling on shelves, going for deep discount. That overall hurts the product, and they were all majority new sculpts as well too. So Hasbro are entirely playing this safe, and to be honest, as a fan of Troopers, I think this is a good idea. I want more Troopers. Predominantly most of my line is Troopers, some Sith and some Jedi. I don't really collect anything outside of that. So for me, I'm happy to see repaints, I'm happy to see Troopers. But if they continue to go doing the same repaint and have the quality control issues that they've had with this Stormtrooper and the Clone Trooper, you're going to see an awful lot more people be upset and start to walk away from the line. I've seen on many message boards now already that people have criticised the quality of these figures and have said that they're out. They said that the quality of the figures in the past were much sturdier, much better, they felt stronger, and now it's starting to feel really cheap and they're now out. Personally, I love the way that the boxes look now at the moment, but if the quality continues the way it is, people are just going to walk away. I've myself seen many Stormtroopers that have helmets that are all misshapen. There's many people online selling these saying these things, the new helmets are junk, you need to get rid of it. So this brings me back to the original point here. Yes, there is going to be more stuff from the Mandalorian. Yes, they will have more product. It's not going to go away entirely alright quickly. But now things are starting to come together. We see in Hasbro sort of idled on re-signing with Star Wars with that license. They very much so idled and waited until the last minute to re-sign with Star Wars. Why do you think that is? Because the product over the last number of years hasn't been good enough. They've gotten good product with the Mandalorian, but that is on, I would say, skeptical grounds right now, given the rumours that surround Season 2. So I will wait and see what happens there. But, like I said, if you have successful brands, the likes of Transformers, of course that uses repaints. Of course G.I. Joe is going to use repaints. But if Yakface is saying that Hasbro's budget for Star Wars is less this year and next year, that's not good. It's not good whatsoever. And that signals that there are very big problems. And this isn't going to be like Star Wars Evolved, where you're going to get multiple new molds of new characters. They're going to play things safe, which I think is the best thing that they can do right now. And they're going to hope that they can ride this wave of what seems to be dark times for the brand. Anyway, I'm going to leave the video there. Let me know what you think in the comments. Have you picked up any of these new Black Series figures? I have, and I have to say some of the quality on some of them isn't good enough. There's also been some weird stuff that's accompanied these new Black Series figures. For example, like Tamara Morrison sculpted heads underneath the helmets, which is very odd in my opinion. What do you think of characters that have helmetless heads? I personally think would be a good idea if they followed the Power Rangers line insofar as that they have a human head under these characters' heads like Tamara Morrison's, and then you can swap it with a helmeted head. I think it's much sturdier, it's much better, and overall quality for that is much better in my opinion. Would you agree? What do you think about the Star Wars brand? Do you think that it could be facing a little bit of trouble? If someone that's reputable like Yakface is making comments like that, does it start to worry you about maybe Hasbro might end up giving the brand to somebody else or letting that contract run out when it does? Does this make you fear for Star Wars and see if it's going to be a viable option in the future, if it's going to continue on? Because if you're seeing a budget being lowered for what we keep being told as an international, globally loved brand, if a budget's being lowered and lowered and lowered for this, it only signals one thing: that people aren't buying it. And that makes a lot of sense when a lot of people walked away from between The Force Awakens and The Rise of Skywalker. It is what it is now. And as a Star Wars fan, it's very disappointing to see if budgets are being lowered, costs being cut, and I hope it does get back to the days when it was very, very strong and quality was very strong. Would you agree with that? Do you also think now that, looking back on it now, the HasLab version of the Razor Crest was a bit of a signal to say Hasbro are being given a lesser budget and they don't feel as quite as confident with big ticket items like that they've been born in the past with the TIE Fighter? What do you think about that? Let me know in the comments. Make sure you drop a like on the video. Make sure you share that video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And I'll talk to you later. Good luck.